It's so good to be with all of you. My name is Beth Tinker, and I'm just going to sit up here and talk to you for a little while. And let's spend a very relaxed time. Actually, I'm a nurse, and I work with kids like you. I was a trauma nurse mostly. You know what trauma is? Like if you get in a car crash, brain damage, you might, trauma, Or what about a shooting, shot, fall off a cliff? That's trauma. That's trauma. Yeah. So wait. Now that we're all so nice and quiet, it's so wonderful. Did anybody ever do meditation? Meditation. Yeah, meditation is great. Okay, so I'm a nurse. So we're going to do a meditation for 1 minute. Just for 1 minute. Just be quiet. Okay, wait. Shh. Just focus on breathing. And I just want, quiet breathing. And I just want you to think of something. Here's what I want you to think about. Imagine the world as you would make it. How would it be? Because you've heard of Einstein, right? Albert Einstein? Okay, so he was pretty smart. And he said that there's a quality more important than knowledge. It's imagination. It's the most important thing. So if we're going to make a new world, we have to imagine a new world. And that's what kids are so good at. So just close your eyes. Breathe quietly. Just imagine the world that you would like to have. Maybe something that you would change. If you were in charge, what would you change to make the world better? You can do this at home if it gets stressful. You can just close your eyes and take yourself to a beautiful place, to a park, somewhere you've been that's very peaceful, maybe a river. Imagine your favorite tree, the sky. Enjoy how you would change the world. Okay, now open your eyes. Now, who thought of something? What kind of things did you think about? Yeah? What? What did you think about? Yeah? Wait, shh. Thought about what? Pollution? Thought about what? The ocean. I'm glad you thought about the ocean. Because I was just over at Tuscaloosa, and one of the students said that was their issue, having less plastic in the ocean. You heard about how the ocean is filled with plastic stuff? Too much plastic. There's too much stuff. What else? What other things would you all change? Yes? What else? Finding new energy sources that are not polluting. Yeah, that's the great quality of young people because you're so creative. You can come up with ideas like that, yeah? School's uniform policy, you'd like to change that, yeah? Racism. Change racism. And wait, I have a question. How are we going to change things if we can't talk about things? We have to talk about things, right? Do you think we should have a right to talk about the uniform policy in school? Wait. Should you have a right to talk about racism in school? And pollution and oceans, yes. Yeah, who else has a right? So, I mean, it's really about talking about controversial things. And a lot of people think that, the kids should not have a right to decide what they talk about. Kids should only talk about what's okay with the principal, yes? Tinker versus Des Moines. Okay, so I want to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you the story about how kids, young people like you, have spoken up and stood up to make a better world. First, you have to imagine a better world. And that's one thing you are famous for. You kids are famous for your imagination. And I do believe that it's a great leap for democracy when young people speak up and stand up. And so many kids all over the world are speaking up. This is a human rights issue. The rights of children and teenagers. And there are people all over the world right now that you are connected to who are speaking up about the planet, about racism, about the rights of so many people, and you are connected to them. So I've been traveling around. Do you like my van? Yeah, that's good. Well, these are some kids from March for Our Lives. You know the Parkland kids, the students? Okay, so in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, where the shooting happened in 2018, the students, they started a huge movement, and they had a big March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C., where I live. And I met some of the students, the journalism students, and they came up to Iowa last year to help celebrate. Why? Because it was the 50th anniversary this year for a very important case at the Supreme Court. It had to do with youth rights. Youth rights in the United States. And so the kids came up from Parkland to help celebrate in Iowa. We had 10 days of events up there, and it was really, really good. First Amendment rights for young people. Not everybody always thought that young people should have rights. But I think you should. I'm a nurse, as I said. Here's me in my floor, 6B, where I was a trauma nurse, and I took care of kids that had been shot and crashed in cars. And I started to see all your great qualities. You know, actually, I have a hobby now. Guess what my hobby is? Studying your brains. Your brains, yes. They're so interesting. This would be a good project for school sometime. The brains of teenagers are just perfect for standing up, speaking up, and making a better world. Yes. And I learned about that because why? You're so creative, you're talented. Wait a second. I want to ask you something and see if you know. This is a trick question. Wait, guys. Who knows the First Amendment? Tell me one of the rights of the First Amendment. Free speech. Is that symbolic? Could be symbolic. Is anybody wearing a symbol right now today? Yeah. All right, you got your son right on there. What does it mean? Could you please stand up, my dear? And tell us your name. My name is Gunner. Okay, Gunner, look. Is this a symbol? Yes. It's a symbol for your dance job. See, right here. Symbolic speech. Okay, thank you very much, Gunner. All right. So, yeah, very good. Okay, so wait, free speech. What's another right in the First Amendment? Because this is what we're going to use to change the world, right? Freedom to petition. I can't believe you said that. What is your name? Ian was about the freedom to petition, but only, guess how many Americans know that? What percent? Did you say 2%? Because you're right. Good job, Ian. 98% of Americans don't know that the right to petition. All groups have used these rights in our country to speak up and stop being exploited, to be included in democracy, whether it's Native Americans, African Americans, immigrants, women, children, teenagers, all groups have used the First Amendment. Yes, and you are too. Yes? Freedom of religion, that's the 2-for-1 special. You have your right to have your religion. Wait, could you be an atheist? Yes. Could you be a Buddhist? Wait. Could you be a Muslim? Yeah. Catholic? You could be any religion. You could be Presbyterian. Okay, so wait. Freedom to religion. And wait, there's another part of that. That was the free expression, and you also, the government cannot force you to have a religion. Wait. You guys are back. Can you say that, like, Christianity is going to be our religion now in our country? No. Because of what? Wait, because of what part of the Constitution stops that? The First Amendment. What part of the First Amendment? Freedom of religion. It's called the Establishment Clause of freedom of religion, saying the government cannot establish a religion for everybody. Does that make sense? Okay. Freedom of religion. What else? What? Only one what? No, it is not. Well, unless you consider all water holy water, which it kind of is. What else? What other? Okay, there's freedom of what? How about assembly? Freedom of assembly. What about the free press? How are you going to change the world if you can't have a free press? We have to respect the free press. Okay, so wait a minute, wait, yes? Wait a second. I want you all to hear this. Robert? Robert? What do you have to say, Robert?
The freedom to petition is really important because of what's happening in Hong Kong. People are like getting hurt and stuff by the police for like going against stuff because they're treating part of it like America treats Puerto Rico.
All right, so it has to do with like sometimes Puerto Ricans have been mistreated, and the people in Hong Kong, young people are speaking up in Hong Kong. I'm so glad you know about that, Robert. In Hong Kong. And how do we know about what's going on in Hong Kong? Because of the free press. The free press. So young people have been speaking up. Young people are always on the move, speaking up. Young people have always been in the front, speaking up for a better world, a more egalitarian, that means equal world. Oh, wait. You have these wonderful qualities, but without your rights, how can you contribute? How can you make your contribution to our world if you don't have the right to expression, the right to the free press, the right to assemble and petition, and the right to your beliefs and your religion? You have to have your rights. All people have to have their rights in order to contribute to society. And kids are the same, but not everybody always felt that way, and some people still don't. So this is me. I was growing up. My dad was a preacher, and he taught us to respect all different religions and all different people. Me and my friend Jeff, when my dad went to Japan, he brought back the homeless and learned about other cultures. You learn about other cultures, right? This is me and my friends in like second grade. Having a birthday party, growing up. I didn't know about all these rights, First Amendment rights. But one year, wait, something really big happened in the United States. And it was by children. Wait, who knows where these kids are? Where are they? They're in Birmingham, Alabama. In Birmingham, Alabama, there was something called the Children's Crusade. Children, 2,000 kids that year, 1963. They spoke up against racism. You know, our country was started with racism. And we have to talk about it, we have to deal with it and change that. And these kids, as kids always have, we're not afraid because kids have courage. And kids don't mind talking about controversies. Kids want to have the truth. A school board in Colorado, in Jefferson County, decided, we're not going to talk about all this stuff, like this children's campaign. No, because it's not really nice. We want to have more positive image of our country. But young people like the truth. They want to hear the truth. What was our country founded on? The Capitol, I was just looking this morning, there's a statue on top of the Capitol called the Freedom Capitol. The Freedom Statue. Who's been to the Capitol? Did you ever see a statue on top of it? It's called the Freedom Statue. A man named Philip Reed was an enslaved man. He figured out how to get that statue on the Capitol and how to take it apart from its packaging when it came over here from Italy. Philip Reed was enslaved, and he put the freedom statue on the Capitol. That's crazy, but that's where we're coming from. And these kids said, yeah, we have to change things. We have to speak up and change things and make things more equal. They couldn't even go to the public library because they were black in Birmingham. So I saw them on the news, and I thought they were amazing. The police put some dogs on them to attack them. Yes, German Shepherd dogs. And the fire department put fire hoses to attack the kids. One of the firemen almost refused. And I'll bet he wishes he would have refused, because he'd be the hero of the country now. Instead, the ones that attack the children are the shame of the country. And the kids are the heroes of the story. And there are monuments to these kids now in Birmingham, Alabama. These kids were so brave and strong, and they stood up for justice and democracy and love and equality and all these things that adults say we're about. But have we gotten there? No. And so kids are the ones to break through the hypocrisy and say, wait, we have more work to do. So these kids spoke up, and they got attacked, and there was a group. Oh, who are these people? KKK. They have another name also. They have another name. You know what their other name is? The white nationalists. The white supremacists. Wait, stop. I want to tell you about the white supremacists. The white supremacists. Because we have to speak up against the white supremacists. Things happen. You know what it means to be a white supremacist? It means you think white people are like me. Okay? This is white supremacists. And they're back around. They're around again today. Yeah, they are today. At a school where they had been, some kids wrote a racist thing in the bathroom. They wrote the N-word in the bathroom. So, the white supremacists, the white nationalists, the KKK, they had a plan for how to punish these kids. And guess what they did? They put a bomb in their headquarters. They put a bomb in their headquarters on Sunday morning. Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't very funny when the children were in the church. No. The KKK did it. These little girls, their bodies were found in the church. Who's heard of this story? Yeah. Books written about it. This story went viral all over the world. The bravery of these children who stood up for democracy. These kids who led the way. And they were killed in that church bombing. Their names were Cynthia, Addie Mae, Carol, and Denise. They were the same ages as me and my sisters. And when someone came by our picnic to tell us about the little children, we were so sad. I mean, our story is really about how to deal with grief and how to deal with other feelings. By taking action and doing something about it, you can change things. You don't have to just accept the way it is. And so someone put out a call all over the country saying what we should do is wear black armbands. That's me in the middle. At the memorial service we had in Des Moines, Iowa, for the little girls. And we wore black armbands. You know who called for that? James Baldwin, a famous black writer. So we wore black armbands. Wait a minute. Is this free speech? Yeah. Symbolic speech. You're wearing a symbol. If you want to say something, you always have to use your words. No, you can use this. This says it all. It says we're sad about these little girls and they shouldn't have been treated like that. Okay, are you with me? Alright, so that was the first time I heard about black armbands. And a lot of other things happened. The next year was also an amazing year for young people to speak up. Wait, in 1964, and I was just turning 12 years old, the KKK, they killed 3 other students, Cheney, Schwerner, and Goodman, who had been trying to help register African Americans to vote. Because you know how the white supremacists, the KKK, they were stopping anyone from voting who was not white. And also, nobody could be on a jury who was not white. And nobody could be a judge. Yes, this is throughout much of the South. It wasn't just in the South, it was in the North some too. The KKK, when my family was in Missouri, the KKK was very active. It was a reign of terror. A terror group. But was there a war on terror? No. These guys could do anything they felt like. So anyway, when those 3 young people were killed, on the very same day, in 1964, in those mighty times that are so much like now, off the coast of Vietnam, all this was going on at the same time. In Vietnam, a U.S. Navy ship claimed it had been attacked. But it hasn't really been attacked. That was just with some veterans, and it's agreed now. But that did not stop the U.S. Congress from voting to start sending thousands of troops to Vietnam. They were already in the war, but it was more in secret. So then, by 1964, this Gulf of Tonkin resolution said, yes, we're going to start sending thousands of young people to Vietnam to be in the war. All this was going on at the same time. So now we were getting sad again. We were having all kinds of feelings, us kids, because we watched the news. We saw what was going on in the world. And we thought, this is a scene from Vietnam. Who had somebody in the war in Vietnam? Yeah. Family was very intense. Your grandpa? Yes. So us kids, we decided we should wear black armbands again. We should wear black armbands. This time we should wear them to school. And express how we felt. Okay, wait. What do you think happened when we decided to do this? The principals heard about it. They made a rule against the armbands. Made a rule against armbands, and they said, you kids, you don't get to just say anything you feel like in school. You have to just pay attention to your math and science and not talk about war. And so we said, how can we not think about war? It's going on, it's affecting our life. Wait a second, guys. Hold up. And so we decided we would wear the black armbands again to school because there were young people, not too much older than us. And my brother John, he was going to be sent, he could be sent to war. He was 16 years old, 15 years old. Now they're kids. But they were sent, these kids couldn't even vote at age 18 yet. No, it was 21 to vote then. But they were going to send, the adults were going to send these kids off to war. And they couldn't even vote about the war. And now they were telling us, and also kids, besides not voting on the war or anything, or having any say about that, also you can't wear a piece of black cloth on your arm to say how you feel about that war. You follow me? That wasn't fair. That wasn't right. It was Christmas time. Christmas is all about peace and love, like all religions. It basically goes through the religions. Love is the basis of it. Love, yeah. And so we decided to wear black armbands. Here's me at the school board meeting. There's my mom, my dad behind me, and Chris over there with black armband. We were trying to change the rule because there was a rule against armband. So when I went to school, I had my armband. armband on and everything. And I saw my teacher, Mr. Mobley. Mr. Mobley was my favorite teacher. Hey, you guys. Hey. Hey, hey! Hey, guys. So I saw my teacher, Mr. Mobley, and Mr. Mobley was taking a pink slip like this, which means to go to the office. Yeah. So I was really scared, and I took the pink slip, and I went down to the office, and there I saw my vice principal, Mr. Willitson, and he said, now Mary Beth, the school principals and the superintendent and the school board have all made a decision that you're not going to be allowed to wear black armbands to school. So take off that armband right now. So I was really scared and nervous, my heart was beating, and I looked around the office and I looked at Mr. Willitson, the vice principal. I was 13, I was in 8th grade. And in a great stand of courage, I said, okay, Mr. Willitson. And I took it off. And I gave it to him. And I thought, glad that's over. I was kind of proud of myself because I spoke up what I believed in. Peace at Christmas time. And then the girls' advisor said, well, you are going to be suspended anyway, Mary Beth, because you wore that armband and you broke the rules. And we hadn't hurt anyone. We hadn't disrupted school. So 5 kids got suspended. We decided to keep the rule going against the armband. And there's my suspension notice. And there's Chris. He got suspended. Three students went to court. Me, my brother John, and Chris Eckhart. Because a group called the American Civil Liberties Union, who's heard of the ACLU? ACLU, they go to court, the Supreme Court, more than any organization in the United States. And so they said, this isn't right, we're going to have to take this over to the judicial branch. How many branches are there? 3. What are the branches? The legislative, judicial, and executive. Okay, wait. I want to see how you're doing on your civics. Could it be possible for one of the branches of government, what are they? They're the legislative. By the way, your schools are in the legislative branch. Yes. Could it be possible for the legislative branch or the executive branch, someone in Congress, to do something or pass that's against the Constitution? Could that be possible? What? Could they? Could they ever do it? Okay, wait. Here's an example. Virginia passed a law saying that black people and white people cannot get married. Yeah, that was in effect for many, many years. And it was in other states too, probably in Florida. Was that against the Constitution? Yes. Did the legislative branch pass it? Did they do something unconstitutional? Yeah. They do all the time. So, what happens when one of the branches is accused of doing something against the Constitution? Somebody has to say, wait a minute, you just did something against the Constitution. I'm going to take this over to the other branch, like the judges, the courts, the judicial branch, and have them check you. You see how that works? It's called the checks and balances. Have you heard of checks and balances? Could the president do something unconstitutional? Yeah, like Nixon, he was impeached for doing something unconstitutional. That could happen. This is built into our Constitution to control the branches from doing unconstitutional things. Okay, so the ACLU said, well, we think your schools just did something unconstitutional. So they took it to the judicial branch to have them check it, which is what they did. Yeah, and some people got really mad and they started sending us postcards like this. And some people sent us nice letters from the editor, to the editor, saying, hey, kids should have a chance to speak up. And here's my brother and I at the appeals court. We lost persons. Students are persons. With the rights and responsibilities of persons. You are persons. Yeah. You have their exact words. Students are persons. Persons. Students are persons. And they said that sometimes students have something to teach your teachers, and they said that our principal was wrong, and our superintendent was wrong, and our teacher was wrong. And they said we should have won. It was 7-2. It was a strong judgment for students' rights. But this was the standard, and it still is. They said there's two things you cannot do in school with your free speech. Number one, disrupt school. And number two, impinge. Impinge on others. So that's what happened. That's how students, not just us, but you, all over the country, won a big case for your rights to speak up in school and in your lives. And when you speak up, it makes a difference. There were 3 cases after us that went back on the rights of students. But this is the basic idea. So now I'm going to open it up for all of you. What do you all think about this? Did you have your rights? Yes. Good idea. Are you using your rights? You know, your rights are like your muscles. If you don't use them, you can lose them. So you have to use your free speech. But what's an example of something you could not? All rights have limits too. All rights have limits. Yes. And did you ever hear the boxer Muhammad Ali? He said, when you have the microphone, use it. Okay.
Whenever I'm at a gas station, like out cashier tried to pay me more than charge me more than what it is, like sell tax and bought me $1 and started to pay. And then I was like, hey, that's not what it's paid.
Good. You spoke up for your rights. Good job.
They're trying to charge him more at the gas station than they should have. He spoke up for his rights. Good job. What else? Does anyone have questions or comments so far? Are there things you're speaking up about? Yes. I can tell you about some of the kids I meet who are speaking up about so many things. School lunches, uniforms, climate, gay rights. Or I can show you a few of the kids. Here's some of the kids I meet going around the country. Here's some kids from Florida. Yes, these kids are speaking up about gun violence. Some students that started a club at their school against racism. Black Lives Matter, they're kind of like the Birmingham case. Did you start to say something back here, somebody? They had a petition for their French teacher. She is speaking up about the climate. I just met her. Yes, speaking up about climate change. Speaking up against gay rights. Wait. Does Nathan come up? You're speaking up for gay rights? Or DACA? Immigration? Here's my favorite one. Back at my old middle school, where I was I had my own locker. So, what else? You're studying government right now, right? Government? Yeah. Who has something to say? Comments? Questions? Is that the bell? So who has some issue that they want to speak about? They've already heard. What else? Over in the corner, you guys have something you're speaking up about? Yeah? Is there some issue you want to change? Make a difference? You want to make a difference? Want to do something? Make things better in the world? Make things different? Yes? Wait a minute. A strong feeling about what? Women's rights. Women's rights. Who's speaking up about women's rights? Yeah. Nice. Good idea. I agree. Women's rights. How about girls' rights? Girls' rights, women's rights. Yeah. Female rights. What about, yes. Not having a uniform. Well, when you say something that you think is unfair, you have two choices. Let's say you decide to make uniforms your thing. Could you change that? You could. It could happen. You can change. You can use your 5 rights. Yes? Okay. Wait a minute. When you have the microphone, use it. More. Okay, could you get more boards? Yes. If you decide to make that your issue, your thing, you should use your 5 rights. There were these kids in Rhode Island, and they decided they were sick of all the tests all the time, tests. So they dressed up like guinea pigs and rats. They went to the state legislature. What else? Yes. People have been suspended for wearing things that aren't in uniform. There's a lot of people that look at the children and feel like things that other people will not travel for and to do the exact same thing. And it could be just how the teacher is angry or something. Favoritism? Favoritism what? One person you can public judgment and how people can perceive you. So whenever you're walking down the street, based on what you wear, or who you're holding hands with, or what you eat, just anything, people shouldn't judge you for who you are.
Do you feel like you've been judged lately about something? Yeah, that's good.
Wait, come up here. Amen. Put you down. Yes. Bullying. Yeah, bullying is a big problem, right? And also the bullies. How does a bully get to be a bully? Maybe you should think about bullies trying to prevent people from being bullies. Right? One school, we have a program at lunchtime. This school started a program so all kids have someone to sit with at lunchtime. Yeah, because there were kids that were all alone and they didn't have any friends. They were getting hassled, and then that kid could become a bully. If you're really alone, and maybe you're getting picked on yourself, maybe at home, you know, you can become a bully and stuff like that. What other things? yes, wait a second. You have the microphone. Use it.
Why? No, what have we actually got to do with that?
Yeah.
What if I pee on myself? What if I pee on myself?
Yes. But not use the mic. Wait, what? I'll say it. Oh yeah, that came up at Seminole. If somebody hits you, you're not supposed to hit them back, right? Right. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if somebody hits you? Mr. Adamovich, what are students supposed to do? If somebody hits you, what are you supposed to do? You're not supposed to hit back. Tell someone. If someone hits you, okay, say that it's unfair. The one hits you, and you have to hit.
You tell somebody. And then they'll help you.
You can talk to someone about your traumatic experience. You know what a traumatic experience is, everybody? You have a trauma? Most people have. things that happened that day in your life. Like getting clean on the brain. Are you stretching the knee? What else? Does anybody else have a comment or question? Something? Yeah. Let's see, I can tell you about some other students. Do you think you should have a right to wear a rainbow shirt to school? Okay, fine, you can wear a rainbow shirt to school. Could you wear a rainbow shirt that has a slash? Okay, wait, this is a club that was started. Okay.
Wait a minute.
So my friend Angelina, she goes to different schools.
Okay. Wait, is it public school or private? Okay, public school. They have different laws. By the way, is a private school covered by the First Amendment? Yeah. No, it's not. Yes? Okay.
So she has pride, she's very insecure about it.
Wait. Good.
She has pride, but she's very insecure about it, but she's also insecure about it. She thinks about others. She's trying to hide it from people, but now she's more outgoing. So she started a petition that in school there should be a club or a space, a safe place for all kids with pride to go there and feel safe and not embarrassed or be bullied about who they are and what they are.
Okay. It's a pride, right? Okay. What happened? Wait. Started the group.
They don't have